On board with Norm Graff. Norm Graff continues to improve through Sector 2. On board with Daniel Kirby. Riding on board with Frank Radosti. Riding on board with James Bowders. Riding on board with Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby sets a personal best through Sector 3.
JT, nice to see you.
Our camera's on
Howdy.
Frank Radosti.
There's the arrive and drive we all know.
Woohoo! Onboard camera on James Bowders. Our cameras on Jay Tammy. Trackside with Daniel Kirby. The camera settles on Frank Radosti. Our cameras on Chad Gratias. The camera settles on J. Tummy. The camera finds Daniel Kirby.
There we are. JT got his 1 lap in prior to the close down for our race brief. So, excellent. Thanks,
Onboard
everybody. See
camera
everyone else
on Frank
should be in the
Radowski.
pit very quickly. Now the witching hour.
Riding
There we
on
go.
board with Chad Gratiers.
There you are. Super. So, glad to see you all out tonight. I am sorry not to be joining you. I've got a couple of issues going on with the rig, and it's been a busy week here. I just haven't been able to do anything. So I'm afraid I'm going to sit this out, which I'm really sorry about because I would have loved to have been driving down Lakeshore Boulevard with you all and seeing the CN Tower as you come along the backstretch. But there we are. So 8 drivers tonight. Everyone's got some competition, and it should be a fun race. As much as you get bounced around, if you've ever watched the race in real life, you just see the cars hopping around all over the place, and it's quite the sight. Okay, 61 laps, including the pace lap tonight, so 60 laps total. Damn. I knew I'd done something wrong.
Or 1 hour.
Or 1 hour. I think we might be an hour tonight.
Yeah, I heard that lap count, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's going to be
I'm with an hour instead.
Yeah,
It's
we'll do
fewer
it
laps.
which is going to be pretty close to 61 laps all told. So there we are, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know where my head was at. It's been that sort of week. So there you go. It's an hour. So disregard the race brief in that regard. You have a 15-minute qualifying, 5-minute warm-up, and then we're off to race. The orange zone tonight is, the start is going to be a start from standing grid in pairs, and the leading pair just control the pace, arrive at the start finish with 60 minutes remaining. We should, with 8 drivers, all be on the start finish straight and ready to rock and roll when they cross the start and finish line each. No acceleration, no passing before that point. I would have liked to have had the pace car, but that's not working. So just a reminder, no weaving, hard acceleration, or braking on the run around the pace lap, the formation lap, and there's enough walls here to keep you from doing that anyway. And you can drag brakes if you want, but then you're off. If you get stalled out for some reason, you miss a turn or whatever, and you get out of position, go to the back of the field. Just don't worry about your position beforehand. Just keep on moving, and the drivers in place just leave that gap where the car dropped out. The orange zone today is from the start to the exit of T4, which is after the long run down Lakeshore Boulevard and then the right-hander and left-hander up Ontario Drive. So as usual, everyone's close in, so just a little bit of extra care as you're racing, but you are racing. There are no penalties that are going to get carried over, and I'm around to make things better for you during the qualification or the warm-up. Once you start racing, however, you're on your own. Any penalties that RF2 gives you serve in the race, and if you get a penalty after the race from the stewards, it will be applied to your finishing time. Are there going to be blue flags this race? Probably. So just remember the normal thing. Don't compete with or obstruct the lapping car. Lapping car, make a clean pass. There's some really good places to make passes here and some really awful ones. I'm sure you're figuring out where that is going to be, but there's plenty of straights here to make a good pass. Full course yellow is in effect. Hopefully we won't have to use it. And of course, push to pass. You get 150 seconds total and a maximum of 15 seconds per lap. And as I point out, it is a very tough circuit in that it's bumpy and narrow, and it has blind corners all over the place. So stay alert, watch your warning flags and your radar and your map and all that sort of stuff to make sure that you're seeing what's going on around you. If you're spun off the track, make sure you have complete control and awareness of what's going on you before you get back in. And I point out if we have a blockage. First driver arriving at the scene is called code red track blocked, and no one attempts to get around the person. All racing stops and drivers slow to the pit limit speed at most and close up on the instant in single file, with at least a car length the car in front of them. Okay, and that includes the first car on scene. Just leave enough room for the cars to get themselves properly oriented. The car or cars that have a problem and they're blocking the track have the opportunity to get themselves reoriented to continue racing. And if once they get there and they're ready to go, not when they go, if you just get yourself reoriented, I don't want you to move. The driver that can see what's going on says the track is clear, and then all cars can move off in single file with a car length between them. Okay, and then I'll call restart racing in 3, 2, 1, green, 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 and on the green, 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 everyone starts racing. Okay. If the car that has cleared the problem has basically left the race to come back in, they won't be able to join the racing service until everyone has passed the pit exit after green, green, green. Make sure that when you pit, you're well to the right coming out of T10 and enter immediately at the beginning of the entry lane. Make sure you get through the pit lane on the fast lane and then use the wall side to pit. Did I get that right? I think I did.
Left side. Left side.
Left side. Sorry. Oh, right side. Left side. Right side. Should be right side.
Track diagram's wrong.
No.
Yeah, the
Pit
track
entry is
diagram's wrong.
left.
Yeah, it should be left. So that's my bad. So yeah, on the left, stay on the left, pit to the left, and then get back into the fast lane to go. When you exit, make sure you're staying left and join after the exit line so that you don't impede the traffic, and everyone that's coming through in a hot lap, make sure you give people room to get back onto the track. Don't forget to use both tire types. Golden rule always applied. And you don't have to worry about lights, and we don't have to worry about that. And it's the normal thing, Control-Alt-Delete, Alt-F4, or disconnect your cable to get out of the race and back again. And if you use Escape, the race is over, you get no points. Any questions?
Quite a few folks stayed away.
Yeah, I am sorry about this. Okay, right. I will get us moved into the next session and away we go.
Onboard camera on Chad Gratias. Practice is in the books. On to qualifying now. 15 minutes to find the limit. Clear and dry to begin, 24 degrees ambient. Norm graph going for a time. Riding on board with Carl Struhall. tracking Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby on a hot lap. Out on a flyer, Karl Struhal. No improvement for Frank Radosti, stays P5. James Bowders stays P8 after that lap. The camera settles on Norm Graf. Chad Gratias cannot better that time, remains P7. Daryl Kruger moves up to P2, 104.7. In the cockpit with Frank Radosti. Frank Radosti improves with a 106.6. A 16.5 first sector for Daryl Kruger, 0.6 seconds off the fastest so far and a personal best. Good first sector for Frank Radosti, a 17.3, 1.4 seconds off the fastest, but a personal best. No improvement for Chad Gratias, stays P8. Karl Struhl beginning a flying lap now. Our cameras on Daryl Kruger. Daniel Kirby fastest, 101.0. Daryl Kruger goes P2, 103.4. Daniel Kirby is out on a flying lap. That's Frank Radosti's best sector 2 of the session. Norm Graf on a hot lap. Michael Lock moves up to P9, 103.2. On board with Jay Tummy. James Bowders through Sector 1 in 16.7, 0.1 seconds off the quickest, but a personal best. Jay Tummy improved with a 104.2. Karl Struhal stays P5 after that lap. Daryl Kruger improves in Sector 2. Karl Struhal lights up Sector 1, 16.5, quickest of the lot and the personal best. In the cockpit with James Bowders. Out on a flyer, Daniel Kirby. James Bowders goes P7, 105.1. Our cameras on Michael Lock. 10 minutes to go. A new personal best Sector 3 there for Jay Tummy under pressure from James Bowders for P6 in class. Michael Lock going for a time. Chad Gratias moves up to P9, 105.3. Sector 1 for Michael Lock, 16.6, 0.4 seconds off the class best with a personal best. A 16.7 first sector for Karl Struhal, 0.1 seconds off the fastest so far and a personal best. Trackside with Norm Gruff. Sector 1 improvement for Michael Lock, under pressure from Daryl Kruger for P2 in class. Good first sector for Jay Tammy, a 16.5, 0.5 seconds off the fastest, but a personal best. Norm Gruff sets a personal best through Sector 1. Michael Lock on a hot lap. Karl Struhal, 16.6 in Sector 1, 0.1 seconds shy of the quickest, but up on his own best. Trackside with Jay Tammy. Jay Tammy improved with a 103.5. The camera settles on Michael Lock. A 17.2 first sector for Frank Radosti, 0.2 seconds off the fastest so far, and a personal best. Michael Lock cannot better that time, remains P2. The camera settles on Chad Gratias. Daniel Kirby's out on a flying lap. Daniel Kirby tops the first sector with a 16.0, quickest so far and up on his own best. A new personal best Sector 2 there for Chad Gratias. No improvement for Karl Struhal, stays P4. Trackside with Frank Radosti. Michael Lock continues to improve through Sector 1. Sector 1 for Karl Struhal, 16.6, 0.6 seconds off the class best, but a personal best. Fastest lap, Daniel Kirby, 1:00.8. Karl Struhal stays P4 after that lap. Onboard camera on Daniel Kirby. Frank Radosti has found some pace in the last few laps. Chad Gratias sets a personal best through Sector 3. 5 minutes remaining. Riding onboard with Jay Tammy. Daniel Kirby going for a time. In the cockpit with Chad Gratias. The times are coming down for Frank Radosti. Chad Gratias cannot better that time, remains P8. Frank Radosti through sector 1 in 16.6, 0.5 seconds off the quickest but a personal best. Out on a flyer, Micah Lock. Good first sector for Karl Struhel, a 16.7, a fraction off the fastest but a personal best. Still riding on board. A 16.0 for Daniel Kirby through sector 1, the quickest anyone has managed and a personal best. Quicker laps now from Frank Radosti. Trackside with Micah Lock. Our cameras on Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby on a hot lap. Micah Lock going for a time. Daniel Kirby lights up sector 1, 16.0, quickest of the lot and a personal best. Two minutes left in the session. No improvement for Chad Gratias, stays P8. Onboard camera on Karl Struhel. Karl Struhel goes P5, 1:03.2. A 16.4 first sector for Karl Struhel, 0.5 seconds off the fastest so far, and a personal best. Out on a flyer, Daniel Kirby. G. Tammy on a hot lap. On board once more with Frank Radosti. 1 minute to go. Onboard camera on JT Tammy. Karl Struhel has found some pace in the last few laps. Daniel Kirby going for a time. Daniel Kirby keeps provisional pole after that lap. Pole to the back of the field is about 4.3 seconds. Daniel Kirby in the number 90 Dallara IRR 18 on pole with 1:00.8. Micah Lock and Jay Tammy complete the top three. Daniel Kirby in the number 90 Dallara IR 18 takes pole with 1:00.8. Micah Lock in the number 202 Dallara IR 18 second with 1:01.7. Jay Tammy in the number 202 Dallara IR 18 third with 1:01.7.
Okay, there we are. Nice, nice run, Daniel. And Mika, JT round of the top three, and then Carl putting in a great lap, just over 103, followed by Daryl and Norm. So going to be a very interesting race, everybody. So make sure you've got yourself sorted out for your race setup, and we have a 5-minute warm-up.
Warm-up session underway. 15 minutes to prepare. That's qualifying.
And there's Chad back. Good.
Good conditions to start with. Dry track and 23 degrees on the surface. On board with Daryl Kruger.
Just a reminder, it is a 5-minute warm-up session, not 10.
The camera finds Micah Lock.
There for a while, JT, you were going to try and run the whole quali in with the primary tires as opposed to the alternates.
I just needed data on that and fuel usage. And figure out the track a bit more.
Yep.
Our camera's on Carl Struhol.
I did a full fuel run on primaries, and by the end of the run, it was getting a little slippery.
Well, certainly, you could tell the drivers becoming pretty cautious there as the stints wore on with their tires.
My prediction is increased number of pit stops to replace missing body panels.
Is that potential? Well, I think I saw pretty much everybody having issues with body parts through the practice.
Tracking Micah Lock. Our camera's on Daniel Kirby.
Okay, everybody. Going to the next session, so hands off the wheels. Hands off the wheels.
The camera settles on Daniel Kirby. Warm-up complete. The race is next.
Chad just left. Chad, you there?
Chad!
Chad?
Internet might have went down.
His mic is muted.
No, he's still there on his phone. It might have been the internet.
Chad!
I'm just going to recycle and give him a chance to respond.
The warm-up begins. 10 minutes available. Warm-up done. Onto the race.
Chad, are you there?
It'd be a shame to lose 11% of the grid.
Yeah, okay. So I see the
Technical issues. Yeah.
Fixable.
Does that mean coming back or not?
Track temperature 23 degrees and it's dry out there for now.
He's back on the server.
Oh,
There he is. Okay, good. All right, we'll try it again.
Riding on board with Norm
So,
Graff.
hands off wheels, everybody. We're going to go to the next session, which should be the race.
That's the end of the warm-up. Daniel Kirby under pressure from Michael Locke for the lead.
Oh, no worries, Chad. You don't have to hear us. You just have to be on Discord.
We can talk about it afterwards. Okay, 30 seconds, everybody.
Let's take a walk down the grid. 9 cars ready to race.
And Daniel, if you get to the start finish ahead of 60 minutes, I'm not going to too worried as long as the field is closed up behind you.
So just a heads up, if you get to the start finish line before we get to 60-minute mark, you do have to race this track more.
Chad's having problems again.
It's okay, the race technically started, so if he needs to leave and come back, he can.
Yeah, Chad, you can leave, figure things out, and come back again if you need to.
Yep, then you'll be able to rejoin the race as long as you leave by doing Control-Delete or pulling internet.
Alt F4, don't hit escape.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, Chad, you are in. It's just that you're in the pit and you're not moving.
Oh, maybe you chose a...
There you go.
that lane.
Okay. good. So as long as he can catch up with people, that's good.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. Don't die.
Guys, you can leave right now. You don't have to wait.
I would recommend waiting now.
Now, yeah, it's too late.
They're away. 9 cars now racing. 60 minutes at Toronto 2017. A dry track as we get underway. Ambient temperature 24 degrees. Up 1 place from his P4 start. Carl Strohel now runs P3. Can he hold on to this podium spot? Cars nose to tail. Frank Radosti, Norm Graf and Darrell Kruger. Trouble for James Bowders. Our camera's
Up to
on
the
James
final
Bowders.
corner. Wing on the right.
Frank Radosti has the edge on entry to the first sector. Darrell Kruger slides back 2 positions to P7. Darrell Kruger takes P7. Here's Darrell Kruger's pass on James Bowders. Back left Michael Lock sitting P2. On board with Michael Lock chasing Daniel Kirby for the lead. Daniel Kirby tops the times with a 1:03.1. And Chad Gratias drops out of the race from P9. The camera settles on Carl Strohel. Daniel Kirby fastest 1:02.5. Carl Strohel still in the fight for 4th, second lap of this scrap. Nothing between them. Karl Struhel still in the fight for fourth, third lap of this scrap. On board with Jay Tammy chasing Frank Radosti for fifth. Karl Struhel is getting into a rhythm now. On board with Frank Radosti hunting fourth. Jay Tammy gets it done. Here's that pass by Jay Tammy on Frank Radosti. On board now, chasing Karl Struhel for fourth. We rejoin the race with Daniel Kirby in the fight. Our camera's on Daniel Kirby. Michael Ott consistently faster through the first sector. On board with Frank Radosti. Here's something interesting we missed. Back to the action, and Karl Struhel's up to P5. On board with Karl Struhel, chasing Jay Tammy for fourth. And still right there in the fight for fourth, second lap of this scrap. Karl Struhel under pressure from Frank Radosti for fifth. Our camera's on Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby still in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. Daniel Kirby looking strong in first place. The leader Daniel Kirby has built a gap. Daniel Kirby still in the fight for the lead, third lap of this scrap. On board with Michael Locke. That's where Michael Locke is making time, through the first sector. Michael Locke still in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. Michael Locke is quicker through the first sector. Michael Locke still in the fight for the lead, third lap of this scrap. On board with Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby still in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. Let's see what happened. We're back live. Michael Locke now P2. Our camera's on Michael Locke. The first sector is where Michael Locke pulls away. While the action has quieted down, let's revisit an earlier moment. We rejoin the race, Daniel Kirby running P1. Riding on board with Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby still in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. That's where Daniel Kirby is making time through the first sector. Daniel Kirby still in the fight for the lead, third lap of this scrap. Daniel Kirby has the advantage at the first sector. Cameras holding this shot. Michael Lock is quicker through the first sector. Michael Lock still in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. That's where Michael Lock is making time through the first sector. Michael Lock still in the fight for the lead, third lap of this scrap. Daniel Kirby, still in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. Daniel Kirby braking deeper into the first sector. Riding on board with Michael Lock. The camera finds Norm Gruff. Norm Gruff is quicker on the power out of the final sector. In the cockpit with Daniel Kirby. The lap times are starting to drop off for Daniel Kirby. And still right there, in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. Watch the braking into the first sector. Daniel Kirby is later there. And still right there, in the fight for the lead. Third lap of this scrap. Onboard camera on Michael Lock. Fastest lap, Daniel Kirby, 1:01.8. That's 0.41 quicker than Michael Lock. Daniel Kirby carries more speed into the first sector. Daniel Kirby holding P1. Better entry speed for Daniel Kirby at the first sector. Here's the replay. We're back with J. Tummy in P4. Conditions getting warmer, 23 degrees in the air. Karl Struhol up one place to P4. And Karl Struhol completes the pass. Pass complete. Frank Radosti into P5. Our cameras on Micah Locke. Let's look back at something we missed earlier. Back live, Daniel Kirby sitting P1. Daniel Kirby still in the fight for the lead, second lap of this scrap. Issues for Micah Locke. What's the incident? Back to the action, and Norm Graf's up to P3. Tracking Norm Graf. We're at the halfway mark, 32 minutes left. While we were elsewhere, Micah Locke stopped on track on lap 26. We rejoin the race, Daniel Kirby running P1. Trackside with Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby has the advantage at the first sector. Quicker laps now from Daniel Kirby. The camera settles on Michael Lock. Michael Lock is faster in, but Norm Graf gets the better exit from the first and final sectors. Michael Lock is struggling to maintain the pace. Michael Lock and Norm Graf trading advantages through the first and final sectors. The camera finds Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby braking deeper into the first sector. Daniel Kirby maintaining P1. Daniel Kirby leads 34 laps in. In the cockpit with Michael Lock. Michael Lock consistently faster through the first sector. Michael Lock has found some pace in the last few laps. Tracking Daniel Kirby. Daryl Kruger has problems. Let's see what happened. We're back live, Norm Graf now P3. Our camera's on Norm Graf. Norm Graf with the entry, Carl Straw with the exit of the first and final sectors. The camera settles on Daniel Kirby. "36 laps in, Daniel Kirby out front. Daniel Kirby is making time through the middle sector. P1 Daniel Kirby keeping it clean. The first sector is where Daniel Kirby pulls away. Staying on board here. That's where Michael Lock is making time through the first sector. The gap is stretching out for Michael Lock. Our camera's on Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby consistently faster through the first sector. Out front, it's Daniel Kirby, 40 laps in. What a charge from Norm Graf, P6 on the grid, now up to P3, 3 places made. Can he hold on to this podium spot? Norm Graf still in the fight for third, second lap of this scrap. Karl Stroll brakes later. Frank Radosti exits faster at the first and final sectors. Norm Graf still in the fight for third lap of this scrap. Karl Struhol gets it done. Another look at Karl Struhol passing Norm Graf. Back live, Norm Graf sitting P4. On board with Norm Graf, chasing Karl Struhol for third. Onboard camera on Daniel Kirby. Daniel Kirby is quicker through the first sector. P1 for Daniel Kirby, a quiet run so far. Chitami in trouble on the replay now. Back to the action and Norm Graf's up to P4. On board with Norm Graf hunting Karl Struhol for third. And still right there in the fight for third, second lap of this scrap. The first sector is where Frank Radosti pulls away. On board with Daniel Kirby. Michael Lock gets a better exit from the final sector. Daniel Kirby's pace is fading. Michael Lock accelerating harder from the final sector. The lap times are starting to drop off for Daniel Kirby. On board once more with Michael Lock. Michael Lock has cut the gap by 1.1 seconds. Michael Lock consistently faster through the first sector. Michael Lock tops the times with a 1:01.8. Michael Lock has the advantage at the first sector. Riding on board with Daniel Kirby. Michael Lock carries more speed through the middle sector. The times are coming down for Daniel Kirby. Michael Lock has the advantage through the middle sector. Quicker laps now from Daniel Kirby. G. Tammy fastest, 101.5. That's 0.34 quicker than Michael Lock. The camera finds JT Tammy. On board with Michael Lock. That's where Michael Lock is making time through the first sector. Michael Lock is chipping away at Daniel Kirby's lead, 42.1 seconds now. Michael Lock consistently faster through the first sector. In the cockpit with Daniel Kirby. Five minutes remaining. Daniel Kirby out front and pulling away, 54 laps in. Trackside with Michael Lock. Michael Lock holding station on the lead lap. Here's the replay. Trouble for Daryl Kruger. We're back live, Daniel Kirby now P1. The mercury falling, 24 degrees on the track. Trackside with Daniel Kirby. Daryl Kruger had a significant problem on lap 52. Here's what we missed. Back left, Michael Lock sitting P2. On board with Michael Lock. Michael Lock is reeling in Daniel Kirby. Issues for Norm Graf. Let's see what happened.
Driver's right, turn 5.
We rejoin the race, Daniel Kirby running P1. The camera finds Daniel Kirby. Our camera's on Norm Graf. Let's look back at when Norm Graf came to a halt on lap 52. Back to the action, and Daniel Kirby's up to P1. Race complete. On to cool down. The winner is Daniel Kirby. Michael Lock finishes P2. Third place is Carl Struhal. Frank Radosti home
That does it,
P4.
doesn't it?
P5
Yeah, that's gonna
Daryl
do it.
Kruger.
warm to finish if you can.
I can't. I knocked the motor out of it.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. And yeah, it's set there, JT. But I find that if it's only a single car, it's not engaging.
I was to say that's a
On to
perfect
the rest of the
opportunity for
finishes.
full course yellow there, or when I was doing it as well.
Yeah, I got to go back in and look at it again to see what's going on.
Well, I lost
Okay, so I
2
think that's-
wings. Did
That's
anybody beat that?
everybody. So well done, Daniel. Meek in second. JT taking third. Oh, you had the problems. Lots of drama in the AMs. Carl came out on top. Then Frank and Daryl. So well done, guys.
What drama?
I had so
Behind
many
me?
weird
No, I guess it was-
things happen to me at the opening of the race.
Man, I was doing fine till 10 minutes to go, and it all just fell apart.
I was doing
knocked
good
her on
until like
primaries,
12 seconds
too.
in.
I knocked the wings off, everything.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to you there, JT.
I discovered a bump I didn't know was there, and it sent me 90 degrees immediately. Scared the shit out of me.